Delta Sports Talk, worldwide, with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. Ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, in the heavyweight division, we've talked about it. We've talked about WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder possibly taking on Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz, one of the baddest four, right? That fight could happen. And there's this one obstacle, this one hurdle. Is the mandatory challenger for the title of Stiverne, right? And we've talked about it several times. Well, Stiverne seems to not want to budge. He doesn't want to accept any step-aside money. He wants to take this fight regardless against Wilder. Well, let's talk about the good thing about that. The good thing about that is this man seems to really want to fight Wilder, right? I don't think it's a long line out there. Even though Wilder has a championship, has a WBC belt, there's probably not a long line waiting to fight Wilder. You know what I mean? But he seems to want it real bad. He doesn't really care about the outside situations. Just wants to have it, no matter what, right? And, well, this brings us to the problem of mandatories being this powerful. Because this fight probably can't happen between Wilder and Ortiz because of him. If he doesn't want to step aside, then he doesn't have to. So are we empowering these mandatories, right? So that I think the mandatories will have to go through more vigorous program, something, there's some kind of rules and regulation where you have to really do something of significance. Because when you're looking at the Wilder-Stiverne fight, there's no TV station that wants to cover it because the first fight was lopsided, right? That fight was lopsided. All right, so why don't the TV stations want to cover it? That would probably be more so because of the Stiverne. It's not Wilder's problem. The Stiverne, no one wants to see that. So if the WBC would just step in and say, you know what, we're going to make a decision. Similar to the IDF making a decision in the 140-pound division, letting these guys unify, Crawford and Ndungo, and saying, Sergey Lipinets, you're cool, you're the mandatory, but this is something bigger than you. And just making it happen. And this is the same thing. It's not for a championship, but everyone knows Ortiz is a big fight. That would be on TV. The reason this one wouldn't be on TV is because no one would want to see it. But if he were to take step-aside money and beat someone of significance, then the fight would be on TV. So that's just how that works. So I'm not understanding why he's just not, hey, let me accept some money and go beat someone, right? Because let's be real. He's not really busting down the door. We all have the question of why is he the mandatory anyway, right? You lost convincingly to Wilder, and he says he was dehydrated, right? And you know what goes under the carpet, we sweep it under the rug, is Wilder fought 8 rounds with a broke right hand, right? 8 rounds. And the only guy who survived him was that guy, but the right hand was broke. 8 rounds. So you're both handicapped in the fight, so it was still lopsided, right? So it would be nice if something were to happen where the crowd, ooh, he beat so-and-so. Ooh, man, he beat so-and-so. Or why don't Stiverne say, you know what, why don't you hold up, I'm going to go get Ortiz. You know what I mean? I'll get Ortiz. Why do you go and fight Joseph Parker or Dillian White or whatever? I'll get Ortiz. Something like that is what you would rather hear, but you're not hearing it. So the only thing I hear good about this is that he seems to want to fight Wilder, which is, like I said, not a whole lot of people are trying to do. So that's the only good thing about it. But actually he's in the way. I think it's WBC. And I think in general, the mandatories should have to go through a little bit more to get these mandatory positions. But there are so many belts out there that you can become a mandatory for a belt easier. Especially when we're talking about it. You got 4 belts. And every belt trying to get 3 different champions. If you let the WBA tell it, with the super, regular, and interim, imagine if everybody did it. Then everybody's a mandatory after 2 months of boxing. So it's getting to be ridiculous. That's the problem. These mandatories have a lot of power, as you see right now. This is obviously a better fight between Wilder and Ortiz, and I don't understand why his people won't make sure that he understands that. And sometimes if you just do something, right, then the fight will happen from itself. I'm going to stay sitting here, huh? Let's just see how that plays out. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide, and I'm up out of here.